We will keep this promise to the American people. If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor.
That's 2009.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. Period. First of all, if you've got health insurance, you like your doctor, you like your plan, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan. Nobody is talking about taking that away from you. No matter what you've heard, if you like your doctor or health care plan, you can keep it. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your private health insurance plan, you can keep your plan. Period. If you are among the hundreds of millions of Americans who already have health insurance through your job, or Medicare, or Medicaid, or the VA, nothing in this plan will require you or your employer to change the coverage of the doctor you have.
Hey, greetings everyone. You just heard President Obama telling us several times that when the new Affordable Care Act came into play here at the end of 2013, early 2014, that we'd be able to keep our existing health care plans. Unfortunately, that didn't quite turn out to be the truth for me. As you can see from this letter on your screen here from Care First, which is my Blue Cross Blue Shield of Maryland plan that I've had for several years, that there will be certain changes to my health coverage that are required by the ACA. And specifically, my current plan will cease upon its anniversary date of February 1st, 2014. And in accordance with ACA, I will be required to select a new compliant plan in order to continue my coverage. So, not quite exactly as we had just heard there. But there are some interesting options here if we scroll down the letter a little bit. They give me two options here. The first is to go out and go to their website and apply for a new compliant plan. I guess I could also go to the government health care website and look for a totally different company altogether. But they do give me another option to remain in my current plan a little bit longer. Now what I can do is remain in this current plan until basically next year, November 30th, 2014. But I have to cancel my current policy and then re-enroll in it effective December 1st of this year. And as I note down here, please understand this only delays the inevitable, does not avoid it. By this time next year, you will have to be into an Obamacare compliant plan. All right, there you have it. I know you've heard a lot of stories about this in the news. I just wanted to show you firsthand with some real documentation what's going on. And by the way, this is an individual plan that I have. It's not through any company. And I believe we're the type of people that are being hit by this sort of thing here.
People who knew the law as it was being written knew the president wasn't telling the truth. The grandfather provision written into the law itself was too narrow, and frankly, they wrote a regulation intentionally trying to get people out of the individual market. Look, they want the people to go into the exchanges because there's a lot of people in the individual market. The whole point of the exchanges is to close down the individual insurance market over time.
Insurance company,
they wanted to move millions of people into the exchanges.
Insurance companies don't want.
Okay, we want to go to the healthcare.gov website, or the Obamacare website as it's commonly called these days, because the government has canceled my health insurance effective the end of December 2013, so I have to go find an alternate plan. And supposedly healthcare.gov is where we start. So I'm using Internet Explorer version 10 here on a system running Windows version 7. Just should be a pretty typical system for most people. And I've just cleared the cache and the cookies and everything in this browser. So, health care. Now here we see that Internet Explorer is offering a suggestion here, healthcare.com. So most people might think maybe that's it. And if you've ever been to the official site, you'll notice that this is not it. They do talk about the bill here, but unfortunately this is a private for-profit site, so I can definitely see some people that aren't exactly as computer savvy as everyone else, or a lot of people getting trapped there. Anyway, let's go to the real site.gov. This looks a little more like it. Front page is laid out pretty simply. And what I want to do is I just want to do some shopping. I don't want to commit today. I'm not ready to buy. I just want to see what's out there, what's going to cost me. So here it says see plans and prices in your area. And I'll click here. Okay, important note, the prices shown on this tool don't reflect the lower costs you may qualify for based on household size and income. And I don't think this is going to be an issue for me. Anyway, I'm looking for coverage for myself. Click Next. I just want a health plan. Looks like you can choose one or the other, not both. And I live in Maryland. Okay, if you live in Maryland, you have to go to the Maryland Health Connection. That's the health insurance marketplace to serve us. So, gives us a link here. Let's go there and try it. Okay, here we are. I'm an individual or family. Healthcare coverage can provide protection and peace of mind if you or your family get sick in an accident. Blah, blah, blah. Learn more. Okay, you ready to browse health plans? Yes, I am. So let's get started. Okay, a little pop-up here. Please visit Consumer Information Update page for important notices. May be temporarily unavailable. And there's the plan maintenance. Okay, let's just go ahead and get started because I'm just shopping here, so I'm not concerned about all the legalities. Now, what's this? I'm stopped at a login. I can't actually go and shop just to get prices, see what's out there unless I have an account. All right, let's see what happens here. We're going to click on Create Account. Okay, Introduction to Identity Proofing. And obtaining an account, we've gone into HTTPS mode, Secure SSL. By clicking the next button, you will start a multi-step process to create an account. This should take about 5 minutes. So you have to ask so many questions. It's going to take 5 minutes just to enroll for an account, just so I can go shopping for prices. Okay, now we're getting a privacy statement here. Because after all, that's a good thing to have. Not that you can really trust anybody's privacy statement, whether it's government or a private company, but it's there. And once again, I'm just shopping here, so what's the big deal? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and accept it. I agree. Click Next. All right, let's see what they want here. They want full name. Actually, first and last are required, mandatory. They want to know my gender, and they should be saying my sex, male or female. They want to know my city, or they have to know it. They want to know my state. They want to know my zip code. And they want to know my social security number and my date of birth. I'll tell you what, that's mandatory. I've got a real problem here. I just want to go shopping to see what's out there and what's going to cost me. And I have to provide all kinds of detailed information, especially my social security number. Everything, if it fell into the wrong hands, would allow for a nice case of identity theft. And of course, we've heard about all the problems with the design of these government websites. I don't know, we're talking about the lowest bid contractor here, or rush. Anyway, I really don't feel comfortable with putting all this information in here. Now, can you imagine going to the most popular shopping site on the face of the earth, Amazon.com, and having to provide all this information just to go shop for a television set? Incredible. Let's see if I can go and get past this. Nope, absolutely not. So I'll tell you what, this is where I'm going to stop right here and now. I just don't feel comfortable putting all this private information in to a government website that has unknown security status just to do a little bit of shopping for some health care that's being forced on me. I was actually a little bit concerned that some people might think I was being a little bit reactionary in regards of my concern for security in that last segment. So I accidentally stumbled upon this article the day or two after I recorded that. It's on the Heritage Foundation's website. Granted, they're not exactly nonpartisan, but I don't think they make this stuff up either. And they tell a tale of one gentleman who went on to healthcare.gov to register just to do what I wanted to do some price shopping. And he was basically presented with a letter to a totally different person detailing the results of their eligibility for health care. So I guess that sort of proves my point, my concern about wanting to put in all my personal data, my social security number, especially when I just want to do some shopping. Now granted, this pertains to the federal site, but nonetheless the Maryland site could very well experience the same sort of security concerns. And they also go on to detail some more concerns. Apparently the Associated Press uncovered a government memo, it was probably fed to them, that expresses concern about security on the federal site, which also takes care of the 36 different states, which Maryland is not one of them. In regards, I just wanted to prove that, in fact, my concerns about security were, in fact, very much real. Alright, I didn't really intend this video to be a political video. I'm not trying to slam any particular president or political party, but just wanted to relate my personal experiences, especially in comparison to what's being spread around as public propaganda. I must say that I am concerned about what the future holds for this. You know how the politicians and the government are. They tend to be incremental when they want to do something. They don't slap it all on you at one time. They give you a little bit of at a time so you can absorb it. You know, they get you hooked, and then slowly they start reeling you in. Every year it gets a little more terse, a little more disciplined, a little more rigorous, fewer and fewer freedoms. I mean, look at the income tax system has become over what it was promised to be however many decades ago. Also concerned about just one more source of personal data for government and powerful entities to compile data and profiles about you. We have already seen in the news recently that at least one government agency has both the inclination and the resources and the capability to do such a thing. I'm not sure if you're aware, but in recent years both the federal and the state governments have been pushing for the digitization and automation of healthcare records. They've always given the reason that it was going to make it more efficient and lower cost, but it always struck me as odd. So imagine now, in a few years, you've got all of your personal health care records in a database somewhere. Every conversation you ever had with your doctor. You know, maybe you were depressed for a couple months. Now you've also got your purchasing records in Amazon.com, so whoever has access to that database knows exactly what you purchased, what you've read, what movies you've watched. You've also got your financial credit history being stored by at least 3 private companies and made available to pretty much anybody that's willing to pay for it. A complete history of how many bills you've incurred and how responsible you've been or able to pay them off on time. You have so many other databases tracking you, criminal databases, your employment records, your Facebook, everything you've ever put out in the world as far as possibly public forums, Twitter. This information, they can pretty much compile a very good psychological profile of you. I don't suspect they'll be coming to kick your door down, at least not right away, but I don't know, maybe you have a job with a security clearance and they look at some of the books you've been reading on Amazon and tie that in with your record where you told your doctor you were depressed for a little bit and maybe you had some trouble paying your bills for a month or two because of it, and next thing you know you've lost your clearance and you're out in the street. Or maybe you said some things on Facebook, and maybe some of the books you've read on Amazon, and you're also a gun owner, and perhaps they now feel that you're really not a kind of person that should be owning guns, so one day you get some police at your door and they seize your guns. I don't know. It's hard to say, but all this data in the wrong hands is definitely ripe for abuse. Okay, not preaching, just putting it out there.